Hey, what's up? So, I guess I gotta turn the fan off again. Let me do that first. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Anyway, so first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to my little audience, whatever, one or two people, or whatever. I mean, I'm not complaining. Trust me, I'm not complaining. I've put up tons of videos already. It's fucking ridiculous. Like I said though, I've done channels where I had and what I would regard as a lot of fucking subscribers and a lot of and it's a lot of headache, all that. So if that ends up happening with this channel, I don't know how I'm going to deal with it. Although the thing is it was the controversy surrounding the subject that my channel focused on is what drew viewers, and I'm not doing that. I'm not, and most of the reason is because people don't want the truth. That's why I've been doing all these series of videos. If you scroll through them, I've got a big, like a handful of them that are all about just focusing on the truth versus what's popular. Well, the truth is not popular. So if anybody's doing a channel about the truth, you're just going to get a bunch of people that don't want the truth watching your videos. And then they're just going to fucking complain and troll and all this and that. And it gets like totally insane. It's fucking insane. And you'd be surprised at the lengths the establishment will go to shut channels down. To shut people down. If you're talking about something that the establishment has gone out of their way to make sure people don't talk about, which the way they control the narratives is through trends and fashion and trends. Like they really don't need to censor the majority, the masses, because the masses are like sheeple, and the sheeple just flock to what's fashionable and trendy. So the sheeple, the masses, the majority of the narrative is just controlled through fashion and trend. It's that easy. It's just that easy. Because the thing you need to know about the truth is that there's what people want to hear, there's what people want to believe, there's everything else, then there's the truth. So all you have to do is put out what people want to hear, what people want to believe, and everything else, and they'll flock to it. But if you tell them about the truth, well, that's not as important on the list of priorities as what people want to hear, what people want to believe, and everything else. Do you understand? Like, I'll probably just be railing the fuck out in this point over and over and over again because people don't seem to understand this, And so if you're doing a truth where you're not prioritizing what people want to hear, and you're not prioritizing what people want to believe, and you're not prioritizing everything else, but you are prioritizing the truth, it's nothing but headache. That's all it is. You don't get large subscriber bases of 100,000 or more subscribers. You don't get lots of likes, and accolades of praise in your comments. You do not. Ever. Never. Let alone 5 and 6 figures a year doing it. Never. So that's why when you take that into consideration and you look at everything going on all these platforms, it's full of nothing but frauds. There are just masses of frauds. It's arguably worse than mainstream media. So whatever, right? Anyhow, so I'm talking about politics in my last video, and there's a big movement, right or wrong. There's a big movement, a political movement, and I can't help but mock it sometimes because it's more political The apolitical movement that's just really started trending in the last 4 or 5 months, more so than it has in fucking 10 years, is more political than any political movement. It's that crazy, right? So, and the other problem with the apolitical movement is they act like politics that is completely irrelevant. Like it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And I mean it's just a lot more nuanced than that. It really is. It's people. There's a big trend. There's a big people like to either overcomplicate stuff so that they have an excuse for they have someone else to blame and an excuse for why I didn't understand it because it's so complicated. But it's when something that's totally simple, they overcomplicate a simple idea or concept so that they have an excuse to not understand it. Well, it's so complicated. I don't know. I didn't know. I wasn't understanding because it's so complicated when it wasn't. It's just a lie. So people, again, that's the thing. The lie is more popular. So people like to overcomplicate shit, and then on the other side of it, people like to, oversimplify, like reduce everything to one thing, like everything is about racism or something like that. So, and they like to do this. These are just lies that people love. People drink these lies up like Jim Jones Kool-Aid all fucking day long. Some oversimplified, ridiculous proposal that reduces all problems in the world down to something like race. That is just preposterous. It is beyond preposterous. It is really, really sad because it's so trendy to do that, to reduce everything to race. That's what a lot of shit is. And then on the other side of that spectrum is overcomplicate something that is a fifth grade level intelligence can understand. And then you got all these so-called intellects that are overcomplicating it because that's what people want. People like the lies. Because the truth means responsibility. The truth means personal responsibility. That's why people like the lies. That's why lies are more popular than the truth. Okay? So politics is another thing where they either overcomplicate it to disregard all politics because it's overcomplicated, or to disregard all politics by reducing it down to one thing, like whatever, you name it, Zionism or the Masonics, the Illuminati, whatever, reptilians, you name it. They can reduce everything to just this one thing, and so that they can disregard it all. Politics. It's just run by the reptilians. It's all just a reptilian conspiracy, so it's all blah, blah, blah. And there's so much nuance that gets overlooked. Like, what are you even talking about? Even if that were true, that does not disregard all politics, right? And so I'm talking about my views on politics in this last video. And poverty it's just like I brought up in the last video. Gandhi is right. You can measure a political party or a political movement by how it treats its poor. So you got the liberal ideology, which is a political movement. How do the liberals treat the poor? I mean, if you don't know, investigate it. Contempt prior to investigation will lead a man into everlasting ignorance. And the subject of poverty is so completely and conspicuously absent from all discussion that it begs investigation. It's like, dude, are you got to be kidding me? Who was it? One of those famous guys, Hoffa, or who knows? I don't know. One of these big Woodrow Wilson. I don't know. Fucking Benjamin Franklin. Who knows? One of these guys. said that if people knew what was going on with the financial system in the US, there would be a civil war tomorrow. This is true. This is absolutely 100% true. And the folly, the thing where people get caught up is they'll be like, yeah, that's right, just follow the money. That's where you're wrong. Follow the absence of money. Look at the fucking poverty issue. Nobody wants to look at that. The absence of evidence is evidence of absence. Nobody's looking for the absence of evidence. Everybody's looking for the evidence. Like, follow the money, follow the money, follow the money. Well, yeah, and just ignore these fucking, this exponentially growing fucking homeless problem in this country. That's all they do. Everybody just ignores it, and they keep chanting, oh, follow the money, while they just all ignore the absence of money. Like, dude, when you're talking about investigation, like investigators, that are trying to solve crimes, this is part of investigation, is observing the absence of evidence as much as observing the evidence itself. Why? Because the absence of evidence is evidence of absence. I mean, I get really frustrated because these are all basic, simple concepts that a 5th grade level intelligence can understand. And you've got these fucking adult children that dominate all narratives on all fronts, in all media, that are so fucking dense, they pretend they don't understand this. And that is because the truth means responsibility. And the truth is, the absence of evidence is evidence of absence. So if you're following the money, you need to, as much as following the money, be following the absence of it. If you really want to investigate, because contempt prior to investigation is what leads a man into everlasting ignorance. And the whole subject of poverty and shit in the US has been everlastingly ignored. Everlasting ignorance. Like, the whole fucking, let's talk about mass psychosis. Mass fucking psychosis, man. 75% of this country could be homeless, and as long as mainstream media and all this other media is just ignoring it and lying by omission, the 25% of the country is just gonna be just walking right the fuck off the cliff, totally retarded. It is beyond, the level of ignorance is beyond absurdity. So anyways, this is my take on politics. And when you look at it through that lens, politics is a major fucking, but there's politics in everything, just even in relationships, it's a lot more nuanced than this astroturfed apolitical movement likes to suggest. And so that's just more lies. The apolitical shit is just more lies. I mean, there might be individuals, but the overall apolitical stance is just bullshit. They are more political than people that are involved in the political aspect of things. They're more aggressive. They hate voters, on and on, all this shit. So there's just a whole lot of shit going on with this stuff. And so it's hard not to talk about it. So I will be talking about it, throughout, but I don't plan on making it my channel. Like I was saying a few videos back, it's just random. I'm just going to be talking about whatever, because really it's kind of pointless to, the truth is not popular. So, you're going to be a lone voice in the wilderness talking to yourself if you're talking the truth. So anyway, see you later.